It depends on where the landfall occurs, how west or how east it is to the capital city of Kingston. About 3 million people on the island nation of Jamaica, and everyone in the past 24 hours has realized the severity of what is ahead on this storm.
We had Gilbert 37 years ago, and now we're having our first major hurricane since then. The government is very prepared. However, the infrastructure may just not be as ready. So we're busy cleaning up the drains. We're busy getting the homeless off the street.
We are preparing for multiple feet of rain, 2 to 3 feet of precipitation.
We are looking on significant damage if this continues along this current trajectory. So we've asked persons to not wait until it gets to a point that it's difficult to evacuate or to save you, but rather to take early action.
So many people preparing and getting last-minute goods. Stores have closed already, shelves have been emptied, and in some of the communities and the neighborhoods, there is a nervous feeling as to what is headed here. Hurricane Melissa is a monster, and government officials know that.
It can feel isolating when you're on an island and you're cut off if you don't have communication or anyone, that you feel forgotten. But there have been people that have been preparing supplies and pre-positioning aid.
Officials want people to get to high ground if they can, because the flash flooding, because of all this rain, could make these streets into rivers. We're continuing to monitor here on the ground in Kingston and other areas on this great island nation of Jamaica. I'm Robert Gray, Fox Weather.
Nash Rose joins us. We're talking about a storm surge, what, 9 to 13 feet?
9 to 13 feet, and that's going to be on the right side of where it makes landfall. The majority of the forecast I'm seeing still keeping this west of Kingston, their capital, which is positioned closer to the shore. That could be very problematic, and that's going to be something we're watching for the next day or two, because this isn't going to make landfall until potentially the middle of Tuesday.
It's not coming here, so we will keep an eye on it for you. However, what is coming here is Halloween. Friday, we're going to be cooler than we are now.
Yeah, we've got a cold front, Lloyd, and it's an actual cold front this time. It's not one people are going to email me like, some cold front. We dropped 3 degrees. No, this is going to be one that brings us to the mid to low 70s in many spots, and it's going to be sunny and dry once it pushes through. But before we get there, we do have a few more days of tracking some of the spot showers like we had this afternoon. Some spots got very lucky, Lloyd, picked up about half an inch to an inch of rainfall, but they were few and far between. A lot of spots saw nothing this afternoon. Tomorrow's going to be very similar. Some locations seeing a heavy downpour for about half an hour to an hour or so. But for now tonight, we are drying things out. Sky Tower radar showing a very eventful evening on the east side of the state. And in eastern Hernando County, the last bit of rain exiting our viewing area. I do think some spot showers will be possible, mainly along the easternmost borders of our interior counties. Sumter County, for instance, just south of Linden, some heavy rain moving off to the north and east. But notice all the lightning outside of our area on the east coast. There's even one prominent storm system I've been watching out closer to Cape Canaveral and Port St. John with a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning. Our lightning detector clocking as many as 500 cloud-to-ground strikes in a 20-minute period just a moment ago, and even a tornado warning for Port St. John. This is one individual storm. This is not an outbreak, and that's, again, on the east side of the state. For us, we will keep things mostly dry tonight with a stray shower or two for counties like Polk and Highlands counties a little bit farther to the east. Now, max wind gusts today got up to about 20 to almost 30 miles per hour there in Bartow. It was breezy at times with even Brooksville, a 31-mile-an-hour gust just updating there. Those are our official high gusts, so sometimes they come in a little bit of a delay, but you get the idea. Windy at times, just like it was yesterday, but thankfully winds will be calming down for the next 2 days of the forecast, since in between 5 to maybe 15 miles per hour at the strongest. And Tampa Skycast does show, while we do have a lack of rain tonight, we will have partly cloudy skies. That's going to keep us just a touch warmer than we were the past few days. 72 degrees, in my opinion, is about as low as we're going to get here in Tampa. A touch warmer back towards the coastline, and still some 60s to be found up there in the Nature Coast, with Crystal River leading the way at 68 degrees by tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning is going to start with a very low chance of some passing showers, mainly to the north. chances for rain start to increase earlier in the afternoon, and that's going to be the big change up for tomorrow's forecast. Rain chances start a little bit earlier in the day. Embedded within these clouds, I wouldn't be shocked if there are a few spot showers to track just before lunchtime. Once noon rolls around, spotty activity will start to come on shore. Coastal counties included with these hit or miss rain chances, but either way, models have been back and forth with how much rain we actually see. There's a very weak stationary front positioned just over us and to the north. That's putting a lot of rain on the east side of the state, and that's where all that rain is going to find itself heading into tomorrow evening. But otherwise, the rain for us on our side of the state will begin to dwindle and stop as early as 6 to 7 p.m. Late tonight, we should be drying things out. Excuse me, late tomorrow night, just like tonight, we should be drying things out moving into Tuesday. Cold front is on the way this week. This is what me and Lloyd were talking about just a moment ago. Cooler conditions from the north and west and some drier air as well. That's going to knock down the humidity quite a bit. Temperature trend will bring those highs down to about 81 degrees by Wednesday. Thursday into Friday, we dump those temperatures down to 76 degrees. And then eventually by the end of the 7-day forecast, Lloyd, rain chances go to nearly zero. We drop those down to 10% on Thursday, but Halloween's looking mostly sunny with low temperatures in the 60s and 50s once we get there.
That look.